Hello and welcome back. We're migrating my lab environment from Centrify on-premises Privileged Access Service to the new architecture called HyperScalable Privileged Access Service. And we're doing this because, if you're a Centrify administrator, you may need to maintain your own lab, and understanding the process of installing Privileged Access Service, upgrading it, or in this case, migrating it, could be a benefit to you. So where are we now? So we are at the point where we have an installation, we create a new deployment, and we have copied the files to each node. And now it's time to activate the nodes. I have everything teed up here. The command is super easy. It's the Centrify-PAS-Deploy. So I showed you this back in the other video, but when you distribute the files, this is the directory structure that gets created. So you have the upgraded bits or the deployment bits, configuration, some utilities, and this is the key script here. So we're going to call this script. It takes the type of node that is going to be, we're going to talk about in a second, and then I'm just going to say verbose mode. So I'm going to just run it in all of them, and then we're going to have a conversation about what does each node do in a Centrify hyperscalable mode. So I'm going to run here. Run here. This is another web node. So in my configuration, I have basically 2 web nodes, 1 relay node, and I have 1 background node that does the jobs. In this setting, this layer can be highly available. Actually, it is debatable because you should have 3 in order to maintain high availability when you're upgrading, but I can live with this in my demo environment, and I have a relay and a job, both single points of failure, and I have combined my my database and cache in a single Linux box running Postgres 10 and Redis 3.x. So let's talk about nodes, right? So let's go back to the PowerPoint here. So looking at architecture, storage layer, right? A state. It goes into database, Postgres, and some speed achieved with the cache, right? Network layer, we're leveraging a load balancer. In my lab, we're going to be using DNS round robin. So, and that's basically what we're going to do in the next video. So this constitutes what we call the bring your own infrastructure. So all this part here is going to be the responsibility of the customer. They can do this on premise, they can do it in Azure, they can do it in AWS. It's all about, do you have the tooling for the automation, right? But what are the Privileged Access Service hyperscalable architecture node? So we have broken down into web nodes. These are the web front ends. Background nodes, those are the ones that run jobs. Relay nodes, they are the ones that work with clients to establish a secure client, secure channel, and perform communications between clients and operations and the platform. And then we have an optional node, which is a fork of the relay, is a logger node. This should not be confused with the existing syslog writer. Syslog writer is what exports all your CEF-based events from the event table into your Splunk or any other solution. But a logger node is more for troubleshooting. We've also in the past talked about Centrify connector. Those are highly available by default. And depending on the role, if it's an AD proxy or an LDAP proxy, you want to be, in the case of AD, closer to a global catalog and all that nice design. It could be a Radius client or server. It does provide SSO services, and it is a SSH and RDP jump box. So those are, in an overview, what the nodes are. Let's take a look at what our progress has been. So what my expectation is this is going to take some time because I'm running the unzipping on a highly contentious disk right now in a single laptop. So we're going to go ahead and go to the pause. All right, so this seems to be over. So looking at my Web 1 node, looks like it finished completely. What did it do? It, if you look at IIS, and I would say, so it would be Administrative Tools, IIS. So this is IIS 6. All right, so it went out and it created the Centrify website and added the Centrify application pool. So if you were to look at this and this Centrify website, I just wanted to point out, remember that all my machines are not domain joined, they're just standalone machines. From an automation perspective, it just simplifies a lot of things. This is another web 2, this is another web node. Relay node, it basically creates a service. It's called a Centrify TCP Relay service. And if you look at services, you should be able to see them here. So here it is, it's running. And the background node, it created this Centrify Vanguard working service. So if we go and look at services, and here it is. So this is the background job service. So now I can go into a management server, and I expect the output of some commands to change now because we have an installation. So if we look at the get deployment, you're going to see that there's a 20.4. Actually, there's no active one, right? So that's very important. Let's take a look at the nodes. So we're going to do a node list, and this is going to be for the host name, this one, and we're going to do verbose. And this should tell me, this should show me, and let's do a maybe perhaps a table view. This will show me all the nodes that I have in here. So I did not specify any ID names for the nodes, but notice that I have 2 web roles, TCP relay and a background. It'll actually identify them with the, for example, web role, background role. TCP relays don't have it, but it has basically the GUID, IP addresses if it's online, and in this case they're all inactive. I cannot activate this installation until I solve DNS. That's what I'm going to solve on the next video. We just wanted to make sure that we have all our nodes ready to go and we're almost there.